That's wow. Thanking you both for spending time and out of your busy lives and work and to share some words and share some of the work you're doing and answering a few questions. So really thanking you. Chinkumatami. So you started the ground penetrating work back in August, and why is it taking such a lengthy time to either get results or just provide any feedback?
If you have already seen a few of the videos, you'll be a bit familiar with ground penetrating radar and the machinery that we use to gather the data. It looks a little bit like a small lawnmower that you can sort of push over the grassy area or the surface that you're analyzing. It doesn't take very long in that method to gather the data because you're just pushing it back and forth over a series of lines over a space in a grid. But all of that data has to be brought back into a lab, into a computer, and it has to be looked at very carefully and painstakingly by analysts to attempt to decipher whether there's any disturbances below the ground that we want to investigate further.
In addition to that, with the data that we acquired in the field, we had multiple grids. And so we're dealing with X number of grids at St. Paul's, X number of grids at the historic cemetery. And all that information has to be stitched together.
Furthermore, we want to duplicate the work independently so we have more than one person looking at the same piece of data without talking to each other. And in that manner, you get a stronger confidence level when you identify a feature that may be of interest.
Wow, sounds very technical and you need that expertise. Thank you for sharing. Will the GPR results show that there's actually ancestors at the site?
The short answer is no. What the GPR will show us are voids or changes in density or disturbance below the ground. And those disturbances could be from natural disturbances or it could be from previous cultural disturbances. We're not sure. And those are areas, it's going to show us areas where we're going to need more investigation to determine what exactly is going on there.
So what actually happens from here?
Yeah, we're going to use a couple of different technologies. One will involve a percussion core, which drives a hollow tube down into the ground and extracts a very slender, small diameter cylinder of soil that can be analyzed. Another technology is a probe, which is kind of a solid, small diameter, solid cylinder that will go into the ground, and it uses light, and it reads the reflections of the light off of the sediment.
And the other thing to add to that is where we do this sampling, either for the percussion coring or the probe, the other probe, we're going to do that as minimally invasive as possible. And essentially, both of these techniques are pretty much non-destructive.
How can you ensure that this work is going to be done in a good way?
We have to always remind ourselves to follow our cultural protocols on one hand. And on the other hand, academically, we have to maintain that vigor in these investigations. So essentially, we're braiding or weaving those strands together of the scientific academic knowledge with our cultural knowledge and teachings. So moving forward in a good way is communicating what we are doing on a consistent basis, sharing with the nation, the community members on the progress that we've made so far. So that for us, that's very important to carry on with that academic scholarly work and doing that as best as possible, taking the time we need, but at the same time, looking after ourselves by wearing tumith, brushing with cedar, occasionally being brushed with the eagle feather and other things as need be.
I got to say, it's been an honor to sit with you and have a conversation, and thanking you both from the bottom of my heart for what you do. sharing your expertise and your journey. What brought us here to this project. Not only that, I'm just grateful we got you out of the lab, we got you out of the field to share some of the words and work you've done. And it helps us in a good way. So Chinquin Mintomi and Huichka.